Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Adria Tyne. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the van as if you were coming on or off site. Starting off first, we have your black hitch head here and your silver lever. Silver lever has to be up like so to be able to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow ball, causing it to snap down, pushing up this red button and exposing the green ring. You have this breakaway cable just here, which legality states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrapped around the tow bar. The caravan is fitted with 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Your handbrake is just here. To disengage, press down. To engage, flick up. Now these do come with a fair bit of force, so make sure your face isn't in the way when you do so. Then jockey wheel just here, used to level the van, and this red handle to be able to pull it up. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. We have inserts for your legs. Now with Adria's, they are a little bit longer to get to, but the caravan will be supplied with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They are simply used for stabilisation. First level using your jockey wheel, then put down all 4 corner steadies. We're using our test equipment today here, so I have a red propane gas bottle. I'd always recommend propane over butane just because it has better performance in the cold. Attached to it is a black gas hose. Now black gas hoses run for 5 years. This one is dated 2025, so it will run up to 2030. That connects onto this regulator just here, which you hand tighten as much as you can and then nip it up using a spanner. Do not overly tighten it because it does have a washer inside, and that washer can crack and break, leading to gas leaking out. So just nip it up. It doesn't have to be ridiculously tight. Moving along, this is your insert for your water pump. Not pulling water through today as the caravan has been fully drained off, but all you have to do with this is press it in, and to remove, you press in on the trigger. Next to it we have your battery locker. This example does have a leisure battery fitted. However, if you ever need to remove it, it needs either a 12 or 13mm spanner. Then mains lead plugs in nice and easy just here, and you can shut up the locker by feeding through the mains lead just there. Next to it we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. Just behind the axle we have the 2 points where your wastewater is going to come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. Then lastly we have your toilet functions. So first up we have your cassette. To remove the cassette, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. Now this handle does also extend out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. What you want to do is twist this head to the side, open up that compartment, feed in some fresh water, and then tilt and continually pressing the vent button. My recommendation afterwards is to open up this capacity, add in some fresh water, give it a bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then on this cap here we have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into that cap, back into there, and then push it in so the orange handle sits behind the white teeth, so then it can't be removed without pressing up the handle. Then just here we have your flush tank. Flush tank has a capacity of 12 litres of water, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the capacity. You can also add a bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell a bit nicer. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here got a little bung to drain off any remaining water in the flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave with it. Then underneath your right hand side bench seat you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything. The main bits to note, this black box is the back of your battery locker. You have your fuses just here, which also is on a hinge, so it folds itself up like this and allows you to flick over that switch whilst travelling. This black box is your brain box for your motor mover. This just here is your boiler. And then the main bits to note is that you have these grey switches jotted across the caravan, which are drain valves. And then you have this here. Now, what this is your frost protection drain valve. So you have two options when it comes to it. You can leave it like this, with the button pressed in at the back, and that is allowing the flow of water to come through. You have to have the button pressed in though. If I flick it up like so, that will drain off any water in the system. Now, if the system drops below around 3 degrees, it will automatically switch it up for frost protection. That is something that it will do manually. So if you are caravanning in the winter, you will have to get the actual caravan itself up to temperature to then be able to switch it into the mode where you can go through. Now, those grey switches, you have a couple jotted across the caravan. So you have one that is underneath one of the beds here, and then underneath your fridge, if I can open that up, you have two more. Then inside here you have your trips, all your trips in the upright position. Now, I would recommend carrying some extra fuses across the caravan as well. Then just above your door you have first your main control panel. So the main control panel turns on and off using this middle button, but it's also a dial. So I spin it to the left and this shows the amount of power coming into the van. Now, it's represented with these lights on the side. Now, as I'm plugged into mains, which you can see is represented by that symbol, it will show the amount coming from the mains lead. However, if I only have the battery on, it would show the amount there. If it dips into the red, that means that it's quite low and will probably need replacing. On the other side, we have the amount that is in the boiler. So when I have to have the water pulled through, I would first have all my drain valves in the downright position to allow the flow of water to come through, and my emergency valve in the correct position. I would have my water pump in, and then I would press in here, so switch it back, and you'll see that symbol. That symbol will mean that you are then pulling water through. You would then come over to your taps after waiting about 2 to 3 minutes. Come over, open up on both hot and cold, and what you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. If there's any coughs and splutters, go outside, make sure that the pump is sat so that the strainer's at the bottom of the barrel, your drain valve's in the correct position, and that you have plenty of water. It can be a case that the system can be overly pressurized when you first start, so just pull it through for 30 seconds. Then next to it, we have your Truma control panel. So this is for your heating and your hot water. Naturally, this panel will go to this green look, just so it doesn't disturb you whilst you sleep. You have a dial here at a back button, and then you can press in on the middle of the dial to select. So first up, we have the caravan with the thermometer in. This is for the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. Goes up to a maximum of 30 and starts at 5. So if I select it in, you can see the flame there shows that the heating is on. Next to it, we have the thermometer in the water. This is for the internal, the water temperature. So we either have off, eco, which will get the water temperature to 40 degrees, hot, which will get it to 60, or boost. Now, boost will prioritize heating the water over heating the actual van. It will do that for about 30 minutes and then drop it back down to eco. Next, we have your energy source. So you can either use gas, mixture gas of 1 kilowatt, mixture gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt, or strictly electric with 2 kilowatt. And again, that is represented on the top row. Then next to it, we have this fan. So the fan has eco or high. Now, You have a series of vents across the caravan, which you can see one there for an example, and this is how vigorous it's going to push the air out. So eco is a nice steady boost, whilst high is a lot more vigorous. However, if I don't want any heating on in the van and I go over to fan, I can either have off or vent. Now what vent does, it just pushes the air around the caravan. So you can have all of your windows open and allow some nice fresh air to be ventilated through the van. Then on the bottom row, first up we have a timer. So it allows you to start when you'd like the heated and hot water to come on, and then finish. So you first input your start time, first the hours, then the minutes, and then your finish time. Then you have your actual time. So it's currently not 3 minutes past midnight. You just select the correct time, and it is a 24-hour clock. Then lastly, we have this spanner icon. This is for your additional settings. Offset, temperature, brightness, 12 or 24-hour clock, language and index. Not going to run through that. If you'd like to know what they represent, please have a look inside your book pack. Then if you don't want this on in the slightest, press and hold on this middle button. It will turn itself off and there's no more heating. Then here we have your fridge operation. So to turn on, press and hold on this button. You'll then see that the lights inside turn on. You have this button here, which is your select button, and your two buttons to go backwards and forwards. So if I press in once, it will show you which I'm currently set on, which is automatic, leading to mains on full capacity. If I want to change the source, press and hold in. There we go. It will begin to flash. Now I can cycle through. So I've got auto on mains manually selected, this battery symbol. Now that battery symbol is representative of 13 pin electric whilst you're towing, not the leisure battery. You cannot chill the fridge on the leisure battery. However, you can chill on gas. Now let's say I wanted to select gas, press in, then I have the amount of power: 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. But even on full capacity, it's going to take around about 4 hours to fully chill. Now, what you may hear when you're on gas is that it gradually ticks in. Then once it's finished ticking, that means it is then lit. As you'll see, this will fade off as well, so it doesn't disturb you whilst you sleep. Then to turn this off, press and hold in on this button. No more blue LED. Lights are off inside. Then just here we have your hob, grill and oven operation. So this only works on gas. What you have to do, press in the dial, twist it to the side and press in so you can see it light. Now what I would recommend doing is that you run through all of these, make sure that they're all working before you try and select anything on gas. So you want to see a nice blue clean continuous flame, maybe a case that will light up and then drop out. Then it's the same concept for your grill, so twist it to the side, press in, you can see it ignite there. Then twist it the other side to the oven and you can see it ignite there as well. Only other real thing to note is that you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down whilst the flames are light or whilst these are hot. You want to wait until they're nice and cold. And if you're traveling with a gas bottle, you can have it so the hose is connected to the regulator, but make sure the bottle itself is off. Then with regards to the toilet, you do have to have a water pump on, as it will then allow the power to come through. Pressing your button on the top, and you can hear that whir. That is what will push through the water into the cassette. Push it away, opens it up, pull it back towards you to be able to shut it up. When the cassette's full, red light on there to tell you to empty.